Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 194. My name's Rob Hoback. Today is Sunday, the 28th day of April, week 17 in review. Happy to have you here. Appreciate it. If first timer, whatever, you know the whole drill. I'm honored you're here, humbled. I am, right? So thanks. But I feel compelled to say that every day. So, all right. It's Sunday Fun Day. We're going to do a week in review like I promised yesterday. I'd like to talk about things that either I learned this week or things that were validated, right? Number one is that I can't count, right? I had the day where I did 190 once, and then I did 190 twice, thinking, yeah, it's just all messed up. So it messed me up for a couple days, so I can't count. No big news there. Another validation point. No one loves me like Addie does. It's just a different experience. And already I see my nail polish chipping off, and that makes me sad. Just because, I mean, I love this. I look at, she was so happy putting makeup on me. And I mean, I took a shower before I went to the game yesterday, and I still had stuff on my face because I forgot to like really scrub it and everything. So anyway, it was a great time. Number three, Sam. This is a learned, right? Something I learned this week is that I don't know that I should tell you. Well, heck with it. Aunt Barb needs to know. Sam has decided he's going to be a rapper, right? And so, he's had lots of obsessions in his first 12. And so, sometimes I just kind of let that, but he just wouldn't let this go. So anyway, back in my office, there's this little cubby closet in a tiny little room already that he wanted to make his recording studio. And so I bought some of the foam egg crate looking things. He hung them all up. He was in there for like an hour yesterday afternoon rapping. Now, he won't share it with me, but I've seen his notes and stuff, and it's just awesome. I love it. So it's my job to nurture that along, and I'll do it. So stay tuned on that. Next thing that this was a validation for me. I did not learn anything, but it was great to see at work somebody I work with, the X Factor. You know who you are. She got a big shout out like on the company internet. I was like, holy cow, look at that. And then I sent it to her, and she didn't even know that it had happened. So I was able to be surprised. I think I surprised her by telling her about something that she didn't know that somebody said. Somebody took the time to say something really nice about somebody who is kick-ass, right? And she's a lady, and you know how much I like the kick-ass ladies, right? Anyway, here are some things that I learned about myself this week. Yeah, and that's that, earlier this week I had I'm in this funk. And then when I broke it down, I'm like, all right, what is it that's upsetting you? It's repetitive behavior over here. I just have to compartmentalize that, understand it is what it is. This is about the end of this toxic relationship that I have. And then the last thing is that, life it changes quickly. Like you can go to bed thinking things are going to be one way. You wake up the next morning like, wow, just like everything changed, and it's going to have some effect on me. And it's not what happens to us. Bad things or uncomfortable things happen to us all the time. It's how we react. And I used to react differently. Now I'm able to look back and be like, okay, what was it that got you so upset? Compartmentalize it. Like, can I control it? Can I not? And the things that I can control, like how I think, how long I let things affect me, those are my decisions. And so I made a decision. Like the next morning, I'm like, I'm not carrying this forward. I can't. And so I feel like I handled that a lot better than I have in the past. We just have to deal with things, and then we have to move on and not get stuck. I mean, I see my kids getting stuck. I teach them how to do that. I got to share something else about Addie. So yesterday, it's always a lot to get out on time, right? Just is, right? Especially when you're the head coach and you're responsible for all this stuff. And I thought I had everything planned out, but I didn't. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I just took a second to just calm myself down, and I was more frantic than upset. But Sissy doesn't know how to differentiate between the two. So she was like, Daddy, I love you. And that's her pattern interrupt. She's sick. She can't explain to you what a pattern interrupt is, but she sees me getting sideways and she doesn't like it. And so her way of dealing with it is to tell me that she loves me. I mean, how awesome is that? Oh, God, I love her. She is amazing. Anyway, but yeah, about not getting stuck. I mean, I just learned that about myself. Like, I learned that a while ago, that I get stuck. And then when I find myself already stuck, like, you got to get yourself unstuck. Now let's move that back further into the process. Say, okay, when that happens, that trigger, you can't go down that path. Anyway, I came to the realization for a while and finally uttered it out loud this week that there's a lot of good advice in the Bible. When I spent a lot of time studying the Bible when I was a kid, my relationship with the Bible now is much different than it was as a child. And so now I know, like, okay, there are going to be times that I would like some advice. What does the Bible say about that, right? But just so we're all clear, right? Like, just because the Bible says that back in the day they used to stone homosexuals and stuff like that, and you could trade your wife for a goat, right? Like, I'm not that part. I think that is aged. We've evolved and moved on. So, like, if someone were to bring something out of the Bible to me, like, that doesn't apply anymore, right? Like, I just can't. I struggled with that for far too long. So anyway, that's just where I'm at with that. And then I need to stop caring about things that I shouldn't, right? Started reading this book, right? Immediately got me, right? The next part of that, I got to read more, right? Apparently I need to spend some more time reading the Bible, right? And then the other thing is just I've constantly been reminding myself that when I don't want to do anymore, whether it's when I'm doing my day job, whatever it is I'm working on, and I feel myself getting exhausted, like I don't want to do this anymore, but like, finish what you're doing and then do one more thing. It doesn't have to be something big. Do one more thing. Do something that's going to take you 2 minutes or less, right? Just an email that you need to send out, set up a meeting, whatever it is, just do one more thing, right? I used to do that. Yeah, I used to do that a long time ago, and then I just lost sight of it. And so anyway, just some reminders this week of things that I've developed, reminders of things I need to continue doing, and just some things that I learned this week. It was a good week. So the last thing that was validation to me this week, we talked about Josh Jacobs, and I thought about how dilapidated and just uncomfortable that stadium that he played in high school was. And most of the ones outside of, you get your pockets of money, right? Like in Tulsa, you've got nice schools there, but then the rest, rural, urban, they're just junk, right? And in spite of that, you have these kids that are able to crawl out of there. And I think to myself, there's so much power in sports, and there's so many people that don't have access to those great facilities, that if we were to provide something for everyone and not just for the people of means, what could we accomplish then, right? And I think we all know what the answer is, right? So it's just more validation that my big crazy dream is a valid one, and I have to continue moving forward with it. As slow as it's going right now, I have to just keep going. And sometimes that's just keeping it alive by speaking about it. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. Whew. General Lee's supposed to be here in a couple hours. I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow morning. See you guys. Love you. Bye.